Hello. I hope that you guys are all doing really well today. Happy Lunar New Year. Um, I feel like the Lunar New Year might be a good time to kind of have a little reset internally, kind of review energetically what's working for you and just what's not. I don't know, this Lunar New Year for me, it's really helping me map kind of how I want to relate to life energetically, how I want to feel, within me. I think this Lunar New Year, it's helped me to see where I've been putting too much effort in, like efforting, where I felt a lot of like push and force type of energy. And I think for me, it's noticing that and just bringing more awareness to those energies within me. And just as I'm being aware of them, it's like we don't want to repress stuff and push stuff away, right? But just as I'm aware of those energies, you could even say they're the energies of the personal will. And a lot of times they flow up from the stomach. And a lot of times these energies, it's nice to have like an open belly and that energy of power from the hara, from the sacral, from the solar plexus. But a lot of the energies that come from there that feel like tense and stress and fear, it's like, yeah, they're rooted in fear. A lot of our survival fear is in the belly, right? And when that survival fear, like when we're opening in our belly, yeah, a lot of that survival fear can come up. It's nice to open them in the belly, like I was saying, because we open to more of our light. We feel more empowered. That's beautiful. But yeah, I've noticed as I've been opening in the belly, I've been encountering lots of survival energies, lots of just trauma. We push a lot of our fear down into the belly. So it's like that fear is going to come up and it's going to want everything right now. It's going to be in a hurry. And I think this Lunar New Year has really helped to show me where I've become entangled with those energies and where I've been moving from that place of fear, that place of survival, that place of scarcity. And it doesn't feel good. It feels like I said, it feels like a pressure. It feels like a tension. And you don't get like results from that place either, or the results you might get, you have to work super hard for. And I think that's the old consciousness, right? That's our conditioning. That's kind of the old way. And these current energies, I'm seeing like you're going to get even less results from that kind of motivation or from that place of fear. And right now, I'm feeling called internally, and I'm sure it's a collective thing too, or it feels this way to me. Is I'm feeling this calling just to connect to beingness, to connect to allowing. It's like still taking action on what we love to do, still living in the flow, still giving our gifts and this type of thing, but letting go of what we hope to receive from doing so more, like all the way if we can. And it's okay to have desires and it's okay to want things, but just notice those when they come up, the desires, the wanting, instead of getting, and I'm even talking to myself here, of course, too, but, I've just noticed I've been getting so entangled in those places and it's just a hell realm. It's just a lot of suffering when we're entangled with wanting, because wanting always leads to more wanting. One of my favorite videos, I actually watched it today, is called "The Collapse of Wanting" by Adyashanti, and he speaks to this whole paradigm of always wanting more, and how it always leaves us so unsatisfied, or how like just becoming identified with desire, how it just always leads to, even if the desire is fulfilled, it's like then there's more there's another desire that springs forward and another, and it's just this whole way of living. that most of the collective is, that's just how they live. Anyways, he speaks to this whole paradigm so eloquently, and I recommend that video. So yeah, I think this Lunar New Year for me, it's helping me surrender a lot of the personal will, a lot of what I hope to get out of this life or out of giving my gifts. And it's helped me to just connect with the purity more of my life force, like the purity of, like I said, it's good to have the energy coming up from my belly that wants to share, that wants to create, right? I'm getting some chills saying that. But it's like connecting with that energy from a more pure place. Just really, once again, for the 1 millionth time, it seems. And it's just like the Bhagavad Gita says, just once again coming to this realization that the reward is the creating, not the creations. And this is a little Abraham Hicks too. It's like the reward is just being in love with what you're doing. That's it. And the rest is up to God. And I noticed I was getting a little bit outcome-centric, result-centric in my consciousness. And like I said, that's a realm of suffering. That's a realm of tension and stress, because we can't control outcomes. As much as so many law of attraction and manifesting techniques and all these things that people talk about would make you want to believe that you can actually control outcomes and that you're the creator of your life, and all of this stuff, ultimately it's all up to God. It's God's will, and God gives you your work, your craft, your gifts as the reward. It's like that's actually the thing that's going to fulfill you, is just showing up for the divine and being the divine conduit. That's actually what's going to satisfy you and make you happy. It's not the results, because if you're dependent on a result to be happy, or an outcome, that could happen, but then you're going to need a different outcome, and the chains will always be moving. And happiness will always be this fleeting thing that you're chasing and never quite getting to. And so I know but Jim Carrey's a great example of someone who just shot to the very top, of fame and wealth and all of this. And he realized, oh my God, there's nothing here. This isn't real. This isn't real happiness. And that was a catalyst for his own awakening. And unfortunately, so many people reach those heights and they fall into deep depression, and it just is really difficult because they were promised something, that there's this unending happiness there, and they realize, oh my God, it's not, it's not what they thought it was. And so that's the thing with desire and outcome. It's a trap. Or trying to manifest your dream life. It's all a trap that it's going to just cause a lot of stress in you, and it's going to cause you to be in your head a lot and thinking. Whereas if you just see, like, every moment's just a gift. Every moment's a gift. Every moment is just full and complete unto itself, and there's nothing extra needed. Then when you really sink into that realization, it's actually a realization of oneness. And when we're trying to get somewhere else than other than where we are, because we're saying where we are, there's not happiness. Over there is happiness, and I have to do these things, and then I'll be happy. It's like, that's separation. You're in separation. Every moment you're doing that. Every moment you're doing that, you're kind of throwing away the happiness that is here right now. You're just saying, no, this isn't good enough, God. What is not good enough. It needs to be different, and then I'll be content, and then I'll relax. It's like, but if you create from that place, even if you get the thing you think will make you happy and relax, you created it from lack. You created it from not enough. And so it's gonna feel that way even when you get it. And then your mind's gonna trick you and think you need to create something different. And that's just a never-ending trail of suffering, of not being present, of being in separation. But when you can realize this moment right here is just perfect, it's so whole, it's so complete, it's everything that you could ever desire on the deepest level. And then you create from that place. That's true happiness. That's a place of you're not needing anything anymore in the deepest sense. And so this Lunar New Year has helped me connect to that knowing within myself, and it's helped me to surrender so much ego that I was feeling like I was connected to, that was, like I said, really focused on outcomes and needing things to be a certain way for me to be at ease. It's just like letting go of that. A lot of those paradigms, again, it's like these things come up again and again and again. It's like we release conditioning on a spiral. We release our programming one layer at a time, right? So it's like we release a layer and we feel free again. And, okay, yeah, that was, wow, I was really really kind of trapped in an illusion there. And I was dreaming lack there for a minute. I was dreaming I needed something to feel okay. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, another layer. Not all of a sudden, but as time goes on, you connect, you tap into deeper layers of this conditioning. It comes up and you observe it and you feel the stress of it. And you're like, oh, this isn't home. It's like, this isn't the truth. And so for me, this Lunar New Year is helping me come back home. And when we recognize like the pressure in our body and the stress and the dis-ease and the tension and the pushing and the hurry, when we recognize that this isn't home, this is something old, this is trauma, when we notice that in our consciousness, that's when it starts to fall away. But for a while, it seems we have to almost become like re-identified with it. And we kind of get lost to it again. Just to kind of experience it out, to experience the hell of it out, the suffering of it out, and realize, oh yeah, this isn't, no, actually I know something beyond this. I know something bigger than this, more true than this. Yeah, I'm just going to let this go. And through the suffering of those programs, we become, in a sense, inspired to surrender them, because we see like, oh, this is not the way. There's not happiness in this ever. It's just a perpetual suffering, no matter what's happening. Yeah, because we're disconnected from our true nature. We're disconnected from beingness, from peace, from the gratitude of this moment is perfect, like I was saying. And so yeah, it's like, what a gift. What a gift to be able to notice that, to see it, and then to just feel those patterns fall away, to feel them dissolve, and to kind of return home. To return home to peace, to well-being, to not chasing desire, to letting go of wanting. And then to just let life decide, let life unfold naturally how it's meant to. Your story, I've heard people say this, your story, your destiny has been written and the ink is dry. And I really love that phrase. And can you feel how that just takes the pressure off of you? It's like, oh, I can just be, I can just relax. I can let God, I can let life live through me. And I can just open to the experiences that I'm destined to have, that my soul has laid out for me, that my soul has laid out for this lifetime. It's like your soul has laid out the perfect path for you to go through. And your soul knows what you want way more than your mind that's just basically conditioned. A lot of times we think we know what we want from the mind and we try to go get it, and we wonder, why isn't it happening? It's because they're looking out for you. Your soul's looking out for you. Your soul's like, you don't want that. That ain't for you, homie. That ain't for you. You're just going after that because maybe like you think your parents want you to get that, or your tribe, or you read it in some book. That's what you should be or want or whatever. It's like our soul knows the way to take us to what we really want. And actually what we really want is just God. It's just this moment. It's just to be able to feel fully presence, love, to feel the love of our own heart. What we want is actually right in here. It's not in fulfilling, it's not in manifesting something. It's such a relief to let go of all that stuff. Such a relief to your nervous system. It's like, what? Yeah, it's like that stuff burn you out quick. But that's good. It burns you out, you see through it. You see it's just not the way, and you let it all go. And then you just let this moment be as it is. And you realize the astonishing, spectacular nature of this moment, while also noticing it's very ordinary. It's very simple. It's like ordinary and simple can also be profound and awe-inspiring and mind-blowing. And when you deepen into this moment all the way and just experience it through all the dimensions there is to experience it through, it's like that's where wanting really starts dissolving. Because how could you want anything different than the fullness of right now? It's like it's just so full and rich and blooming with life, with you, with you-ness. When I say you-ness, I mean your essence. With oneness. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. You want to support me, there's links in the comments. But otherwise, just thanks for being here. I love you all so much. Namaste.